Hi. So in organisations, one of the reasons why decisions are often failed to be implemented successfully or they don't achieve the objectives that they set out to is because people don't give their informed consent. So what do I mean by informed consent? So it's basically the permission granted in the full knowledge of the consequences. So if you think about decisions in organisations, and from your own experiences you'll notice this as well, is that we don't necessarily know the full consequences of decisions that are either forced upon us or sold to us as well. And so what happens inevitably is that people fail to give their full support, they withdraw their resources and energy, and often even work against the decision as well. So modern progressive organisations often adapt their decision-making approach to make sure that people actually are able to give their informed consent and really do truly understand the consequences of decisions. So what we're going to share with you is a 6-step process that's really robust, that's used in organisations around the world that are sort of modern and progressive, and they want to increase the responsibility of their people and their autonomy and how much they actually bring to their work. So the 6 steps in the process are propose, clarify, react, adjust, consent and integrate. And we're going to take you through each one of those steps now and what you need to do as a leader through those processes. So the first one is propose. So when you bring together your team together, and that's either in person or or virtually, which is fine, you get someone who's actually identified a problem or an area for improvement in the team to actually describe it to the team. And then what they do is they then propose what they would do to remedy it. So it could be a proposal to change a policy or a way of working or a process or update a system or request more resources, whatever it is that's going to improve the team's output and performance. The rest of the team just stay in silence and they just listen. The second step is the temptation often teams when they hear that is to then dive in with their opinion. We don't want their opinions yet. What we want is basically people have an opportunity to really truly understand and clarify. So step 2 is clarify. And what people do then is they ask all the questions they need to do to actually either understand the problem and that it's been defined and also the proposal, like what are steps, more details, so that they can actually then with confidence really understand what the problem is and what the solution is. The next step is react. So this is the chance where people get a chance to share what they think, what they feel, their initial reactions to it, and also to provide suggestions as well. And the proposer at this point is just listening. They're not getting defensive, they're not defending their proposal, they're just listening and taking all of these ideas on board, and that's really important, particularly you see at the later stage. Then we go to step 4, which is adjust. So adjust is where the proposer takes on everyone's ideas, gets a feel for how the team feels about the idea and the proposal, and they then can adjust their proposal based on what they've heard. Or they can actually keep the proposal as it is if they feel really strongly and they believe that it's the right thing based on their hypothesis. They can keep it as it is. Or the third option is they can just withdraw the proposal altogether. It just turns out new information has come up and it's not the right time, or it's not the right proposal for now, whatever it is. And that saves the team a lot of long-term stress and resource as well. Step 5 is critical, so it's the consent moment. So basically you either give your consent or you share your objection, but the objection has to be that you either believe that the proposal will do irreversible harm to the team or it's unsafe to try. It's going to cause too much damage. So the reason why there's just such a high bar for a proposal to be kicked out is because we just want to improve the throughput of the decisions of the team, and also because we often don't know if a proposal will work until we try it, particularly in a complex adaptive system. So what we'll do at this point is we'll just then set up safe to fail experiments and review the decision to make sure it's right and then keep updating it. So those people in stage 5, which talk about that haven't given their consent, that have an objection to it, for then stage 6 is where we go into integrate. So the people that have an objection sit down with the proposer and they then edit the proposal and work with the proposer to adjust it to the point where they feel that they can actually give their consent. And so that means that the proposal might actually become a little bit smaller, it might become better, it might become cheaper, it might become less risky, whatever it is for that person or people to give their consent. And then at that point, they bring the proposal back, the rest of the team review it, and then they all give their consent and the decision is signed off, and then they then review it as it moves forward. And what that means is more decisions are made, if you object, you have to contribute. You can't just shoot things down. You can't just play devil's advocate, and what it means is even the most objectional people have to buy into it, and they have to support it, and it has a dramatic impact on people's engagement as well and support. So it's one of those things, it's a new way of working. It's quite different. So it's good to try it on some sort of smaller decisions first, and the team will then start to build the muscle and start to do more reps at it. But you'll then start to soon see the number of decisions being made increasing, and also the way in which the team support each other to implement it as well.